Welcome to Tyler Walker Romance. You're about to dive into one of Miss Tyler's free full audiobooks. She always knows how to make you forget your life with handsome alpha male billionaire heroes and sassy strong heroines who grab love with both hands. In order for this content to be free, we have to take out the dirty details. Otherwise, we risk disrupting this platform's rules and guidelines. Buy the unabridged version of any Tyler Walker audiobook from tylerwalker.com, and with code SAVE40, you can get 40% off any digital product at checkout. Take this moment to subscribe to the channel, and remember that liking and commenting is what makes these free full audiobooks possible. Thank you for choosing to treat yourself with Miss Tyler.
Chapter 1. David, that's a wrap, the director shouts. I have been here sitting for more than 3 hours waiting for my paycheck. It doesn't help that the lady who signs the cash-in note is nowhere to be found. This is the thing about playing extras in dramas. You get this little role and once done, you're out. I seriously need to get a regular job with all the bills that's been piling up at home. Perfect. I frown as I remember my dues. Overdue dues. I can't be idling like this for the whole day. I better just leave and tell Bob, my agent, that I haven't gotten my pay for this stint. David. I turn around just in time to see Peaches running down from the hallway. Hey, Peaches, where have you been? I've been waiting here for hours. I know. Sorry, she says, while she wipes her forehead with the back of her hand. These bullies are giving me the runaround. I just need one signature for that permit that they're requesting, and I can't seem to get it from any of them. Chill. Your fringe is out of place, I joke. We don't want that, do we? Peaches laugh. Of course not! So where is the cash-in note? I hand her the piece of paper, which will save me for the next week from starvation and living in the street. I follow her into the office, and as she's counting the money, I idly look at the old movies produced by the company. I sigh. I just need one chance, Peach. But Lady Luck is not on my side. You of all people should know that every time I get these small roles, I work really, really hard, but I guess this is not for me. I look at her and smile. She and I have been friends for more than 5 years. When I moved to LA and was very determined to be an actor, I bumped into Bob and exchanged a few words. He then took me in, saying for the reason, "You have the face of a star." He hooked up me with a few producers and directors who hired me to do small jobs every now and then. If they needed an additional guy to walk on the pedestrian lane, that would be me. I had been cast numerous times by the company Peaches worked for, and that was how we became friends. You know what, David? I told you time and time again that Hollywood is not for everyone. I know Bob said that you'd make it, and I'm not saying that you won't, but you have to make a living. Peaches lectures me. It's not like you have thousands of dollars in your account that will allow you to wait for that big break. Take it too from me, I was once like you, but look at where I am now, she adds. I glance at Peaches, who is sitting there with her face completely covered by this thick mixture of powder, makeup, and sweat. She did tell me in one of our conversations that she wanted to be an actress when she was younger. Born and raised in Alabama, the country bumpkin in her wanted something more. So she tried her luck, but alas, she just grew old, waiting. Yeah, believe me, I've been thinking about it a lot in the past days. I've been on a banana and apple diet for too long that I forgot what meat actually tastes like. She snorts as she hands me the cash. All the more reason to think about what you need to do. You already know what you can do, but apparently what you can do can't help you right now. I take the money and stuff it in my pocket. Thanks, Peach. I gotta head home to my mansion and make sure not a single gold was stolen. Take care. Peaches laugh. Cackling is more like it since she just had another round of Botox injected in her puffy face, and she can barely move a muscle. I'm about to open the door when she says, I heard they're brewing up something new. Nothing has been decided, but they were talking about it earlier when I was up there. I have no details of the story, but all I know is that it's a soap and a prime time for that matter. You might want Bob to poke around and see what he can find. A wide smile spreads across my face as I almost carry Peaches. Thank you. I walk out of her office with positive stride. One last time, I thought. One last time. As I reach the sidewalk, I fish for my phone to call Bob, give him what small details I got from Peaches. He promises to ring me back as soon as he has answers. He and I know that once I truly starve or go homeless, he will definitely find me in his kitchen raiding his fridge. Bob calls as soon as I step on my floor. Tough luck, kid. They are in the middle of creating a new soap. The audition is ongoing, he tells me. Is there anything for me? At all? I ask. I can feel his disappointment as well as it's taking him almost 30 seconds to answer. Maybe not another bartender or waiter or bellboy. I'm sorry, David. Is that all they have? Maybe there is more. I'm going to admit defeat at this point. This can't be all I can be. The other role they've mentioned that is for the audition is for a married couple. I didn't even bother asking for the details since you're not married. Can't they just cast two random strangers to play as a couple? I don't think so. They're probably looking at the chemistry and spontaneity, you know? Those only married couples would have, Bob explains to me. I pace back and forth outside my apartment while Bob's on the other line. I need to think fast. Look, David, I'll look something for us. We'll get something, Bob says, and I hang up. Damn it, I curse internally. I insert my keys in my knob only to find it open. I push it to see my best friend cooking and my godson on the dining table, coloring. Hey, Dave, hope you don't mind me using your oven. She smiles and waves the spatula at me, gesturing me to sit with them. I immediately call Bob. Get me that audition, Bob, and I'll get myself a wife.
Chapter 2. Tracey. I love David's kitchen. It has the right amenities, which is the only splurge David did in this apartment of his. Hunter's daycare is having a potluck party tomorrow, and I'm the mom who has to bring the brownies. Not just any brownies, mind you. They have to be gluten-free, nut allergy safe, vegan brownies. As the mom who has so much to make up for, casting the latest Netflix TV series can do that, I quickly agreed. With my oven busted, I picked up Hunter from daycare, bought the supplies needed for the brownies, and headed straight for David's house. I have a spare set of keys to his place, and he has a spare set to mine. That's what best friends do. I finish pushing the tray of brownie batter into the preheated oven when the front door opens. Hey, Dave. I hope you don't mind me using your oven. I wave at him. Hunter jumps out of his chair and runs toward his godfather. David scoops him up into his arms and gives his fat cheek a kiss. My insides practically melt at the sight of my son and my best friend together. David loves Hunter like his own. With Hunter's father out of the picture, he needs all the fatherly love he can get. I'm sorry if your kitchen's a disaster right now, I say, waving the spatula in my hand at the mess I've made. I promise I'll make it up to you. David sets Hunter down and grins. Actually, I know how you can make this up to me. I don't like the sound of that. My eyes follow my son as he returns to the table and resumes his coloring. You know Peaches over at the lot? He asks, sticking his finger into the bowl of leftover brownie batter. He takes a swipe, then licks his finger clean. My grip tightens on the spatula handle. A part of me imagines what else David's tongue can do. Not so best friend-like idea. To distract myself from the temptation, I say, yeah, I know her. This is pretty good. He smacks his lips and my throat closes. Anyway, she said there's a new soap in the middle of casting. Have you heard anything about it? I frown. David, you know we don't discuss work. It's a pact we've made not to interfere with each other's work life. Well, I called Bob, and he confirmed it. Then you really didn't need to ask me now, did you? That's beside the point. Bob said they are looking to cast a married couple. My eyebrows go up. Believable couples are usually hard to find. You need to consider chemistry and if they actually like each other enough to work together. That's where you come in. David places both his hands on the counter and leans forward. The move makes his biceps bulge. You know I'm not going to make a call for you if that's what you're asking. The last time I did that, and it didn't work out, you sulked for a month. Hence the pact not to interfere with each other's work. He shakes his head. That's not what I mean. I want you to audition for this role with me. Excuse me? My jaw drops. You and me. He points at me, then at himself. I want us to pretend that we're a married couple. Walk in there and audition. Absolutely not. Come on, Tracey. His eyebrows come together. I really need this break. This can be my chance to become a series regular. You know I don't have any experience with acting. I cast people for a living. I know what it takes. But you did those plays in high school and in the theater. Those don't count. The butterflies in my stomach wake up at the mere thought of standing in front of a casting panel. He rounds the island to stand in front of me. He takes the spatula from my hand and sets it on the counter. Then he takes both my hands in his. My breath hitches. Don't do this, David. There will be other opportunities. There can be no truer words. My best friend is over 6 feet tall, with amazing blue eyes, and the best blonde head of hair in the business. His break is just around the corner. Trace, please. I won't be asking if I wasn't desperate. I'm breaking the best friend code. I know. He totally is. For years I pined for David, seeing him more than just a friend. Sadly, I'd rather be in the friend zone than lose him in my life. Not going to happen. You said you'll make it up to me. I roll my eyes. I meant dinner or something. Letting go of my hands, he kneels on the floor. For a second, my head doesn't register what he's doing. I'm too busy missing the feel of his hands on mine. Please. He clasps his hands together, looking up at me with those killer baby blues. I'm begging here. All the breath leaves my body. David never begs. Never ever. I bend down and place my hands on his elbows. Then I pull up. He gets what I'm trying to do and stands on his feet again. He looks me in the eye. I drop my gaze and bite the corner of my lip. He takes his thumb and eases my lip out from between my teeth. All the worry in my body ebbs at his touch. Damn him and my sense of loyalty. Why did God have to curse me with a handsome and charming best friend? Stop giving me those puppy dog eyes, I say, feeling my resolve to refuse to dissipate like morning dew beneath the hot sun. Are you saying you'll do it? I point the finger at him. If I do this, you have to promise not to leave me hanging out there, or I'll never speak to you again. He treats me to that megawatt smile that he reserves for only Hunter and me.
Chapter 3. David. It's 9 o'clock in the evening. I'm walking in Tracey's apartment to discuss our fake marriage. I press the doorbell. The door is open and I enter and walk freely in Tracey's living room. "Hi, David," says Hunter. I mess Hunter's curly hair, and then I kiss Tracey on her cheek. She glances and smiles at me. "Hello, big boy," I say as I kiss him on the cheek too. "I will get you a glass of milk, okay, Hunter? You better sleep now," Tracey says to his son and goes to the kitchen. "All right, Mommy," Hunter answers her obediently. "Big boy, what are you doing before I arrive?" I play with one of Hooner's toy cars. Nothing. I'm just waiting for you to come. Actually, I am sleepy now." Hunter appears to sulk while he's talking. "I'm sorry, don't worry. We will play tonight," I reply so Hunter won't get sad. "But Mommy is preparing my milk." "I guess it's fine. We have a lot of time." He smiles at me, but I know he is not happy. "Hunter, baby, say goodnight to David." Tracey is walking towards us, holding a glass of milk, and gives it to Hunter. "Good night, David. You came late tonight. We don't have much time to play," Hunter says sadly. "It's okay, big boy. You better sleep now for you to grow taller and handsome like me. We have a lot of time ahead of us." Again, I mess his curly hair. "Okay," Hunter answers me lazily. I kiss Hunter's head and greets him goodnight. "Sweet dreams, baby," Tracey says, and kisses him on his cheek. He walks upstairs and goes to his room. After a while, Tracey sits on the couch. She opens the bottle of red wine and pours it in the glass. "So what now? What are your plans?" She looks at me while smelling the aroma of the wine. I get the other glass and fill it with wine. I drink it in one gulp. I know this is too much, but I badly need Tracey's help. "We need to pretend that we are a real couple. We need to tell them that we are married." I look at her beautiful face to see her reaction. Do we need to disguise ourselves like that? I mean, are you really sure about this? It's pretty awkward for me, you know. She looks at me seriously. "Yes, I'm sure. I thought this twice, Tracey. I need this job. Yeah, I know that I look so desperate. We talked about this and you agreed. And since we are best friends, there is no malice, right? Or are you secretly in love with me?" I grin at her. "No worries, I'm just teasing you, Tracey." "Hell no," she answers me in disgust. I laugh so hard like there is no tomorrow. Look at that expression of refusal on her face. I frown, but there are more pressing things, and this is no time to focus on it. Okay, let's be serious. When someone asks how long we are married, we will tell them that we are 2 years together. We were best friends for a long time until we fell for each other. Yes, I am serious about this. We need to plan this before the sun rises. You are such a great actor, David. Tracey stands up and claps her hands slowly. What if someone asks about our marriage contract? She asks him, raising her brows. I don't think they will ask for it, but surely they will look into our hands. We need a ring. I grasp her right hand and looks at her index finger. I check the size. You have a small finger. We need to buy our rings, for them to believe that we are married couples. What else do we need to prepare? I'm thinking a lot of things, feeling like my head will blast at any moment. All right, in our social media accounts, we need to post about our husband-wife relationships, our married life, to make it more realistic. Tracey is just listening and looking at me like I am his math professor. We need to have a couple of pictures. I have a great idea. We will have a pictorial. You'll be wearing a wedding dress, and I'll be wearing a tuxedo. I frown. She's not giving any idea. She only nods and says yes on what I say. Wait, what about Hunter? Do we need to... I ask. No. She immediately cuts my question and answers me. He is out of this situation. Hunter will never be involved in this. Do you understand? She's a bit mad. I know it's my fault. Okay. Don't worry, I am just asking. Me too, I won't involve him in this. I'm sorry, Tracey. I hold Tracey's hand and gives her a cute smile. Fine. Look, David, all we have to do is to show all of them that we are a married couple. Tracey is looking into my eyes while saying all of this. We should do what real married couples do in the presence of others. Hold hands, eating together, and always together. People need to see that we love each other so much, and we need to show that we have a happy family. Perfect. Great idea, Tracey. I like everything about it. They might believe in our married life, and we can pull this off, I say. Thank you so much. You're such a blessing to me. I am excited about tomorrow's audition, so I hug her tightly. It's too late. Can I sleep here, please? Yeah. So are we done discussing our so-called fake marriage? Yes, all we have to do is to show them how we love each other deeply. All right. Good night, David. Good night, Tracey. Again, thank you so much for giving me this favor, I reply to her. No worries. Tracey sighs as she waves me away. I go to my usual room. The next day, I open my eyes because of a loud sound. It's my alarm. I need to have an appointment now. I get my phone and make a call. Good day, I'm David King. I'd like to make an appointment for the audition. Yes, my wife. She's Tracey King. All right, thank you.
I thought I was getting a fake marriage, but I didn't know my story was being told by Miss Tyler.
This isn't just any fake marriage, now is it?
No, you introduced me to the devil.
Come on, girl, Jacob isn't that bad.
Oh, I love Jacob. His family, on the other hand?
Beggars can't be choosers, Nyla. You should be grateful I even let Jacob Stone look your way.
I just wanted to save my granddaddy. Is that so bad? Why couldn't you let this be a normal fake marriage? Instead, you put me in a twisty story filled with money, betrayal, power, and lies.
Let's not forget love.
That's what keeps me going. But not gonna lie, Miss Tyler. This story you got me in ain't the simple fake marriage, happy ending I thought it would be.
It's not. Because where would be the fun in that?
Treat yourself to Say Less I Love You. Tuesdays and Thursdays. New seasons premiere every month. Or skip the wait and grab the full series bundle from TylerWalker.com. Treat yourself with Miss Tyler. Chapter 4. Tracey. I had a hard time falling asleep, thanks to David's proposition. But here I am now, trying to keep up with his stride as we walk towards the studio. I feel extraordinarily strange today, for a variety of reasons. A production assistant leads us to the holding area, where other real married actors are waiting to try their luck. I notice the assistant check out David more than a couple times, and I can't help but smirk. The scene you'll be doing has been marked, she says as she hands the copies to David. Good luck. Here you are, honey, David tells me as he gives me my copy of the script. He's called me honey before, but hearing him call me that now makes me feel giddier than usual. We find ourselves a place to sit in the room. I open the folder. My eyes get wider and wider as my eyes travel down the page. Oh my, I breathe. Oh my, indeed, he repeats. I glance at David and find him already looking at me with a rather intense gaze. My eyes wander down onto his well-shaped mouth. I take a deep breath. It says here we need to kiss, I say as coolly as possible. He makes a sound of agreement. So it does. How's your kissing skills? I resist the urge to hit him with my script excerpt. My kissing skill is wonderful, don't you worry. He cocks a brow. Really? You haven't kissed anyone for a long time, though. You might have gotten rusty. Maybe we need to oil the machine. I glance towards the crowd of couples to see if anyone had heard our damning banter. Nobody seemed to, though. Everyone's busy with their own script excerpts. It says here that you'll have to lead that, he murmurs. I roll my eyes. Have a bit of faith in me, David? But I'm not really annoyed. In fact, I'm ecstatic. I get to kiss David with no strings attached. And no consequences to face later. Several couples go ahead of us. David uses the time to give me acting advice. I didn't hear a word of it, though, because I was too busy imagining how it will feel to have his lips melding with mine. Finally, the production assistant announces that it's our turn. David makes an effort to match my pace as we follow her to the audition room. Suddenly, he rests his large hand on the small of my back. David leans down and whispers, "Relax." The production assistant admits us into the room. It really feels so strange to not be a part of the casting committee. Actors struggle to please me, and now I'm in their shoes. Auditions are very straightforward. There's really no need for niceties during this part. You'll have all the time to socialize with the committee after you pass this stage. David's hand slips away from my back and into mine. Our fingers interlace for a moment. He gives my hand a squeeze, then lets go of me. I can tell by his walk that he's already in character. He takes his mark. I leave Tracey behind and become his wife. "Darling," I call out. He turns around smiling. My God, he looks divine. I basically launch myself at him. "Hi, baby." He chuckles as he wraps his arms around me. Given our height difference, I have to tiptoe to wrap my arms around his neck, so we have to improvise. He lifts me up and I twist my legs around his tapered waist. I cup his face with both hands. "Did you miss me?" "So much." He groans. His arms tighten around me. I lay my head on his shoulder. Then I trail kisses along his jawline. In my mind, I am dancing. My fantasy has become a reality. I moan the instant I feel David's lips on my neck. Oh yes. I grab David's hair and let a moan spill from my lips before I realize my start to grind against him. Our eyes meet. My God, desire is such a good look on him. I go in for the kiss. His lips are soft and voracious. He doesn't hesitate to initiate tongue action, and I welcome it with gusto. I suck on his tongue and feel the pressure build between my legs. More, I want more. It's more than I ever imagined. I smile despite myself. I don't want to stop. David pulls me closer to his body, but we have to come up for air. We hear someone say, "Wow." "You did a good job," the director says. "I'll call you tomorrow for the results." We thank the crew and we left together. When we're finally alone, I beam at David. "What did you say earlier?" "I have rusty kissing skills." He lets out a laugh. All right, I take that back." I grin. I glance down at my watch and gasp. It's almost time to pick up Hunter. Want to come with me? "I'd love to, Trace, but I have to drop by the agency." I'm deliriously happy for the rest of the day. The next day I get a call as I get ready for work. The casting schedule yesterday was moved because I didn't show up. I have a lot of explaining to do. But it's David, so I abandon my blouse and pick up the phone. I wonder what he's calling me about so early in the morning. "Hey," I say. "Tracey?" It's a really good morning. David all but screams. My brows knit together. "Why, what's up?" "We got the part, Tracey." "Oh, damn. Oh my God, seriously." "You are a goddess." My mouth is suddenly dry. I can't believe it. Am I still asleep? Anyway, they want us to drop by the studio at 10 a.m. Can you make it? I bite my lower lip. "David, I have to go to work." He sighs. "Please, Trace." I purse my lips. I didn't expect that we'd actually get the part. I'm not an actress, but now I'm on my way to becoming one. I'll see what I can do, but I can't promise anything, all right? I'll call you back. I end the call before he can say anything else and dial my boss's number. Ethan is going to hang me by the heels for delaying the show's schedule. He picks up at the third ring. "Tracey! How lovely to hear from you so early in the morning." "Hi, Ethan. Look, I'm sorry I wasn't there yesterday. Something came up." "What came up? Is Hunter sick?" "No." I hesitate, but what's the point? "I went to an audition with my friend yesterday, and I got the role." I hear my boss cough. I've either shocked him in the middle of a coffee sip, or he's actually under the weather. I gulp. "Oh my God, Tracey. You're serious? No wonder you always pick out the perfect fit for our shows." "I didn't really expect to get the role. I did it as a favor for my friend, actually. But now we have to go to the callback. I'm so sorry, Ethan. I don't think I can commit to our project with this." Ethan shushes me. "Tracey, go for it. I'm suddenly more excited for you than the show. If you make it big, you can make it up to me by starring in one of my projects. But if you get tired of being rich and famous, there's always a place for you here. Make me proud, sister. With that, my boss ends the call before I can say another word.
Chapter 5. David. I stare at the sleeping Hunter in front of me. Tracey went to talk to her boss about our gig. Recalling how the audition went, I didn't know that she and I have that chemistry. Maybe because we have been friends for so long. We met during high school. Tracey was a member of the glee club while I'm one of the jocks. We sat together during calculus, and that's when it all began. We have the same likes and dislikes, whether that'd be music, programs, subjects, and even people. She is a female version of me. When I told her I wanted to become an actor, she encouraged me. When I informed her I will be moving to LA, she helped me look for the cheapest apartment my savings could handle. She kept me going, especially during the times when Bob has nothing for me. So, when she told me that she was pregnant and that the guy left because he's got no balls, I immediately booked her a flight to LA. Her parents are strict and conservative, but that won't stop them from having her abort the child she was carrying. Long story short, I helped her get her life together. And now we are here. I hear the door open, and I jump up to welcome Tracey. I beam and walk excitedly towards her. "Hey you," I said as I engulf her into my arms. "How was it?" Looking confused, she answers me. Okay, I guess." She shrugs. "Are you okay?" I let go, but I hold her at arm's length. "I'm just super excited to be working together," I exclaim. "I'm still not sure about this," she answers. I take her hand into mine and look at her eyes. I don't know what my face is showing, but I can tell that she's still reeling from the result. Why not? Imagine you and me working together. We are the best team there is. I let go and pace around the room. How about you and Hunter stay here at my place for the time being? You and I can go to work at the same time together since we are a couple, I say as a matter of fact. Tracey just stares at me without moving a muscle. I snap my finger excitedly. I'm going to rearrange the guest room for you too, where we can bring Hunter to school together every morning. He and I can play together. I can help you more with him. I promise you, this is going to be so much fun. So how about it? She takes a deep breath and holds my shoulder. You need to calm down. Let me think about it, okay? Tracey is fidgeting with our fake wedding rings as we wait for our turn. I know her. She agreed because she thought we won't get the part. She agreed just to appease me, but here we are. I snicker as I think about it more. She looks at me and smirks. At least one of us is having a grand time. I smile wider. This is our ticket to freedom. Freedom, my left toe. You got a nice pair of those, I say, winking at her. Shut up, David. She leans closer and whispers, if we get sued for lying, I will kill you first, ship Hunter to my parents, and go to jail. Whoa, you've gotten that far? Think positive, Trace. If we pull this off, we get rich. Hunter can go to one of the best schools for college. She elbows me. My son is only 5. You think that whatever we make out of this will be enough for my son's college tuition fee? I'll help, of course. You better. Tracey rolls her eyes at me. The assistant director approaches us. You guys are up, he shouts. Next scene. Places everyone. We stand and walk towards the set where the other actors are. Even though Tracey took up a theater course in college, she never really dove into it. This is the first time she's doing something related to her acting major. I take her hand into mine and she retracts it. I look at her and raise one of my brows. Then she gets it. She takes my hand and we walk towards the other cast. Act natural, I whisper. She tightens her grip as she smiles. We walk to the director. There you are, he starts. I just need you two to sit. He then moves to the single sofa. Tracey sits here and you, David, sit here on the armrest. He walks backward, slowly visualizing the entirety of the set. Remember, the 3 couples are having wine after dinner and are talking about the couple moving out of the complex and how you are all reminiscing of when you first all met each other. All the couples nod. We're one of the main couples. Act melancholy! Scene 5, take 1. Action! He shouts. As I'm sitting here, I slowly realize that this is the first time since I started that I'm acting without calculations. The script says to just smile and laugh and be touchy with my wife. This is precisely what I do. I look at Tracey, whose arm is on top of my thigh, her curly hair bouncing slowly as she laughs. I suddenly feel I'm in some kind of trance until her eyes meet mine. Her smile is captivating, and her brown orbs shining. She blinks a couple of times. We sure are going to miss everyone, right, hun? She asks. That's my cue. I remember my line. I should be saying, we most definitely are. But here I am unable to say anything, but in a split second I put my fingers under Tracey's chin and lean in. I close in and gently kiss her on the lips. She freezes for a second. Her back at the camera, I can see her brows knit. That is not included in the script. We most definitely are, I reply with a smile. Get that goofy smile off your face, she warns me as we walk towards the director. I just know that I'm happy and satisfied with what I did, but I don't know that it's showing. I remember how soft her lips were during the audition, but this time it's different. It may be just the setting, but I find myself wanting more. More of her lips. More of her. What did I do? I ask innocently. I was just so into my character. Is that so bad? You should have told me that you planned on doing that. If I did, would you have agreed? She stops walking, looks at me, and shakes her head. You're impossible, she whispers. The director approaches us. This is why I cast real couples, the director says. What you did earlier, David, when you kissed Tracey, that was so natural. I loved it. He praises us as if we are the main leads. I put my arm around Tracey's shoulder. I'm happy we can contribute to the betterment of the drama. Me too, he affirms. Well, go now, you two. I will see you both tomorrow afternoon. Your call time is 2 p.m. Tracey extends her hand, and I do the same. We shake hands with the director and turns around. Tracey is walking right beside me quietly. And here I am thinking if I should be apologizing for earlier. I did want to apologize, but not anymore. Playing a make-believe couple with Tracey is uncharted water. I should be weirded out, but surprisingly, I'm not. If I can be honest with myself, I like it a lot, but what about her? I want to tell Tracey that I like our kiss. But I don't want to hurt our friendship. I guess I'll just keep to myself.
Chapter 6. Tracey. The kiss seems to go on forever. Not that I'm complaining. This is one of the more hot and heavy makeout sessions. In this scene, our characters get into a fight, which ends in a passionate kiss. I'm starting to really like these scenes. Back in the day, I used to imagine what it would be like to kiss David. Naturally, being the best friend held me back from actually acting on the impulse. Now I'm getting paid to kiss him, and not just a silly peck like they do on the PG shows. When David is in character, he goes all out. I'm swept up by the emotions that his mouth on mine conjures. Then he pushes his tongue between my lips, and I lose all coherent thought. I'm surprised I'm still standing because my knees are shaking so hard. When I'm holding on to David's shoulders or wrapping my arms around his neck, I'm literally holding on for dear life. And cut! The director yells from behind the monitors. It gives him an idea of what the scene will look like on TV. David breaks the kiss first, like he always does. I'm left bereft, wanting more. It takes a second before I can return to my senses. Great job, you two. The director approaches us with a rolled-up script in hand. You sizzle on camera. The audience will eat you up. I think we can do better, David says. I have to admire the consummate professional in him. I've watched his work several times before, but this is the first time I'm getting to observe him in action. He dissects every scene like a brilliant surgeon. What do you mean? The director asks. You did great. Your chemistry is off the charts. I'm willing to go again. I say, supporting David in what he needs. If he thinks we can do better, then we can definitely do better. I'm willing to repeat the kissing as many times as possible to get things right. Ducklings! The director's smile is almost painful. As much as I want to indulge your creative sensibilities, we have a production schedule to meet. It's on to the next scene. The last sentence is for the entire crew. A flurry of movement happens around us. In the next scene, the director's talking about will take place in the living room. Of course, I imagine all kinds of naughty things happening to us there. Then I remind myself we're shooting a soap, not porn. As much as I want it to be the second one, I'm content with the occasional kissing scene. Is it true that this is your first time acting? The director asks. I blink, cheeks growing hot. I thought the director had moved away. David's already preparing for the next scene. Yes, I say, when it becomes clear that he's waiting for a response. I've only done a couple of plays in high school. I'm actually more comfortable on the casting couch. The director's eyebrows arch. Really? Because you look like a natural to me. Thank you. What I don't tell him is that I'm really getting into the role of being David's wife. Besides enjoying the fact that we kiss, I'm starting to think that maybe there can be more than friendship between us. I haven't entertained this thing, even though I feel the occasional urge. What a scary thought. David is such a good guy, and he's excellent with Hunter. Things would be so easy if he and I made it official. I can see it now. Romantic dinners and the occasional movie, picnics at the park with Hunter. The best romantic film will not be able to compete with what we'll have. I better go. The director inclines his head toward the set next door to the one we are standing in. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'll make sure and do that. I nod and smile. As directors go, he's not bad. Working in the business, I've crossed paths with all kinds of personality types, jerks, nice guys, eccentric types, you name it. What did he want? I gasp when David stands beside me. It's as if he bloomed from out of the floor, like a ghost, not there one second, then there the next. Jesus, David! I grasp the pearls they put on me in the costume department. You scared the living daylights out of me. Seems to me you're so focused on him that you didn't even hear me coming. He narrows his eyes in the direction our director disappeared to. Don't be that way. I place a hand on his arm. He was just telling me that I'm a natural. David eyes me for the longest second. Look at you, Miss, I don't have any acting experience. He bumps his shoulder with mine, chuckling. Oh, shut up. I smack his back playfully. I didn't think I would enjoy this as much as I do. It's actually fun. You're not a bad kisser either. His words send all the blood in my body to my head. I want to hide somewhere. My cheeks are undoubtedly hot enough to cook an egg on. David! The makeup artist calls him over with a wave of her brush. Time for some touch-ups. Then it's your turn, Tracey. See you there? He asks. His smile is so dazzling that I'm blinded by it. No wonder his co-stars have the tendency to fall in love with him, even though he acts as an extra most of the time. Hell, I'm playing out fantasy after fantasy of him and me in my head. I nod and sigh. I'll be right behind you. What he doesn't know is that I have to cool off first. He jogs toward the makeup artist, leaving me standing there and admiring his nice, firm backside. I wonder how he will react if during the next kissing scene, because I'm pretty sure there will be another one, I reach down and grab that booty. Will he break character? An excited smile forms on my face. There's really no need to hurry. We're already spending more time together than we used to. I'll wait and see where this all goes.
You think you can catch me? You think you can tame me?
Oh, I know I can. And you know it too, baby.
I gotta tell you, you're not the first to try.
But don't worry, baby. I'll be the last.
With sass like that, maybe I'll be the one that needs to tame you.
Let's cut to the chase, big boy. What you selling me?
Your appetite is big AF. I have just the thing that'll satisfy you.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Over 120 hours of romance audiobooks. Brought to you by Tyler Walker Romances in the Big AF Audio Bundle.
120 hours? That sounds amazing.
Your knees won't work afterwards if I do my job right.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Well, I can keep this promise. Because these audiobooks are unabridged with all the spicy scenes that will make you put your earbuds on. You know, Tyler can get freaky because she marked the bundle down by 69% for a limited time.
I can't wait to take this bundle for a ride.
Visit tylerwalker.com and get this audio bundle. Just don't start listening if you're going to be cooking dinner. Because you might just forget to feed your family.
TylerWalker.com. Escape your life with Tyler.
Chapter 7. David. After a long day of shooting, Tracey and I head for the daycare center where we left Hunter. Dinner is on me today. If I had my way, dinner would be on me every day. Hey, will you run lines with me after dinner? Tracey asks, tucking a curl behind her ear. I love how she gets shy when asking me for anything involving acting. My chest puffs up each time she needs something from me. My instincts to provide and give her whatever she needs kicks in. Worried about the monologue? I ask back, unable to stop myself from teasing her. This will be the first time where she'll have an entire page of dialogue to herself. Don't remind me. She touches her stomach. I'm already pretty nervous about it. I take her hand and squeeze. I love her dark skin against mine. It makes me want to see the rest of her beauty, preferably unclothed. As much as I want to take things to the next level, I want to see where we are going. Tracey doesn't let go. That's a good sign. I'll be right there with you, I say, rubbing the pad of my thumb over her wrist. Immediately, I feel her pulse kick up. I observe her face, and there's a fleeting reaction of something I didn't manage to read correctly. I bite the side of my tongue to keep from pulling her close, so I can kiss her some more. The feel of her lips on mine is like a dream I never thought I wanted. Most of all, I love the sound she makes when I stick my tongue into her mouth. For a moment, I see in her eyes that maybe if I do lean in, she won't say no. I'm about to test that theory when a voice from down the hall calls my name. Tracey and I both look toward the direction of the sound. A curvy brunette sways her hips toward us, her pasty husband in tow. She waves her hand as if she's flagging down a landing plane. I hate that I have to let go of Tracey, but I do. Charmaine, it's good to see you, I say. Then reach out a hand to her husband. Pete, good to see you. He shakes my hand in a firm grip. David, it's good to see you too. Did you just finish for the day? Before I answer his question, I gesture toward Tracey. You know, Tracey, my wife. Nice to meet you. Tracey reaches out and shakes both their hands. The genuine smile on her face takes my breath away. Aren't you the casting director for Passions in Paradise? Pete asks. Tracey nods and they both lapse into the conversation. I'm content to stand by and listen, but Charmaine says, How is shooting going? She twirls her hair between her fingers. Her intention is to bring my gaze to the deep cleavage of her dress. I keep my eyes on hers. It's long days, but a great opportunity. You know how it goes. Oh, believe me, I understand. Long days and even longer nights, running lines in your dressing room. Her tone is low and seductive. She's so close that I can smell her expensive perfume. It's part of the job, I say, my lips in a tight line. Anything can happen. She bats her eyelashes. We keep things professional on set. Tracey is a natural at her job. She steps forward and runs her other hand along my arm in a suggestive caress. We should get together sometime, she says with a pout. I think she thinks she is sexy. You know? To exchange stories. In every job, there's always one actress or two begging to climb into my bed. If the situation was different, I might have obliged her. Instead, I step away from her touch. We can schedule something, I say, tone hard and cold. I place my hand on Tracey's lower back. We should really go and pick up Hunter. Tracey bids the couple goodbye and we go to the daycare center. Weren't they the couple who we beat to get this gig? I continue when she trails off. Yeah, Pete's a nice guy, but his wife is another story. I saw her flirting with you back there. I can't blame her. You're David King. I hold my breath, searching her face for any sign of jealousy. I'm ready to cool ruffled feathers. Instead, I see caution in her beautiful eyes. She's nothing we should worry about, I say. Actresses like her are a dime a dozen. I don't know. Tracey's brow wrinkles. There's something about her that I don't like. I can't agree more. I've seen her type auditioning before. What do you mean? My hand remains on the small of her back. I steer her to the building where the daycare is. She doesn't once move away. She's the type who'll do anything to get what she wants. Tracey stops in her tracks. She takes my hand in hers and looks me in the eye. For a moment, I'm captured by the deep pools of her eyes. I can stare at Tracey's eyes all day if she lets me. I'll do anything she'll want me to do, to be honest. I don't think we have anything to worry about, I say as a way to ease her frown. Charmaine is harmless. Still, she squeezes my hand. We have to be careful. About what? She might find a way to get you fired and take the job for her and her husband. I've seen it happen before from the way she's flirting with you. I shake my head, cutting her off. She may be a manipulative witch, but I can see right through her. Nothing's going to happen. I know that. She places her hand at the center of my chest. I trust you. Her words almost bring me to my knees. What did I do to deserve her trust in me? She makes me want to be a better man for it. The last thing I want is to break that trust. If Tracey says we should be careful, then I'll be on the lookout. Charmaine won't get what she wants.
Chapter 8. Tracey. Hunter's feet dangle from the high chair the Italian restaurant provided when we walked in. I didn't know such a fancy place had one. I guess rich people have kids who eat too. He patiently waits for me to cut up his spaghetti into a manageable length and mash the 3 large meatballs into bite-sized pieces. I feel David's eyes on me the entire time. He sips wine while doing it. Bud, I don't know why you insist on ordering spaghetti and meatballs when you have your mom return the meatballs to ground beef, David says, humor evident in his voice. I like the meatballs, Hunter says in the unadorned honesty of a child. He's smart for his age. Sometimes I actually feel he's an old soul trapped in a little boy's body. You like seeing the meatballs or you like eating them? David presses further. I like it when Mommy crushes them, especially when they're huge. A giggle bubbles out of me. There's my 5-year-old. Huge is his new word, I say. What are other things that you know are huge? David asks, his enjoyment clear on his face. In front of him sits the biggest chicken parmigiana I've ever seen. This room is huge. Hunter points at the high ceiling. That light is huge. It's called a chandelier, I say, helping him out. Well, it's huge, he says. Do you know what else is huge? I catch the mischief in David's eyes just as he adds, Mike. David, I cut him off, scandalized, and turned on at the same time. Damn him. He throws his head back and laughs. The deep throaty sound does all kinds of naughty things to my body. It's like a physical touch that sends goosebumps rising along my arms and legs. I mean, my car is huge, David says. His eyes are twinkling. I roll my eyes at him. You two should get married for real, Hunter says. I drop the fork that I'm in the process of handing back to my son. It clatters on the floor at the same time as David's laughter stops. The sound is loud enough for the conversation around us to pause. "Why would you say that, Bud?" David studies his face with a serious expression. He actually just asked that question. Hunter shrugs. "Because I don't have a dad, and I really want you to be my dad." David makes a choking sound. He picks up his wine glass and takes a long swig. "I see the way you look at him, Mommy," Hunter continues. "I know you love him, and I know that he loves you too." Gripping the napkin on my lap so hard I've lost all feeling in my fingers, I lean closer to my son. "How do you know so much about love, sweetheart?" David leans in too, clearly interested in the answer. I feel my whole body grow hot. A 5-year-old put plainly what I've wanted all along. Again, Hunter shrugs his little shoulders. "Ms. Lana at the daycare watches a lot of soap operas when it's our nap time. I sneak up on her and watch too. The way Alejandro looks at Maria is the same way you look at David. Kissing usually follows after that." My skin goes from hot to cold as David lets out another peal of laughter. "I think I need to have a talk with Miss Lana about her TV viewing choices when I bring you to daycare tomorrow." "Don't be mad at her, Mommy," Hunter says, real concern on his baby face. I flag a waiter down and ask for a new fork. When the utensil comes, I hand it to Hunter and tell him to finish his food or no bedtime story later. He loves his bedtime stories, so there's no more talk of marriage. To the man I really do wish would look at me the way Alejandro looks at Maria. I glance across the table, and David raises his eyebrow at me. I roll my eyes, then shake my head at him. Chalk it up to the precociousness of my child. Later that night, once Hunter is tucked into bed and I read him the story of Ferdinand, I take out another bottle of wine. After the long day I had, I think I deserve a bath. My muscles are all tense and tight. I pad to my bathroom and open the tap, feeling the water and adjusting the knob until the temperature is just right. Then I place the stopper on the drain and add a generous amount of bubble bath into the rising water. Afterward, I light the vanilla bean and sandalwood candle I bought from Bath and Body Works. When the tub is 3/4 of the way full, I strip and slide in. A sigh escapes me as the warm water envelops my body. I take a sip from my large bottle of wine and stare off into the distance. On the drive back home, I couldn't say a word to David. An awkward air hung between us. Sure, what Hunter did was inappropriate, but I couldn't help but wonder what it would really be like to be David's wife. I concoct a scenario in my head. We'll stay at his place since it's bigger. Hunter will finally get to call him Dad. When he said that, my heart all but burst inside my chest. I knew that not having a dad around is hard for Hunter. I never thought how much until he blatantly admitted to wanting David to be his dad. Every time I see them together, my heart fills up with so much love. David really does treat Hunter as his own. There's nothing he won't do for my boy. David is a great guy and would definitely make a great husband. I know in my heart that I would make a wonderful wife to him. Now, whether those two things will come together is yet to be seen. In the warm embrace of my bath, I sip my wine and dream of a happy family life. One where I am cherished and my son is loved. David can certainly do both of those things.
Chapter 9. David. I saunter onto the set the next morning feeling good about myself. Hunter wants me to be his dad. I can't believe it. I love the little guy more than words can adequately describe. My eyes search the room for Tracey. I hated the awkward air between us last night. I make a note to smooth things over with her after today's shoot is over. I spot the director discussing something with one of the crew members. We lock eyes. His gaze narrows as he waves me over. Having been on the other end of a disapproving look like that many times, I mentally catalog everything I've done so far. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'm not aware of making any intentional mistakes. When I reach him, he doesn't even greet me. Instead, he launches into saying, "I saw what you did yesterday. And with your wife by your side, no less. You've got a set of balls on you for blatantly betraying her like that." Whoa! I raise both my hands in surrender. I don't know what I walked into here. Are you seriously going to play dumb about this? The director points in the direction opposite from where we stand. I follow his finger, and at the end of it, in the distance, stands the one person Tracey told me to guard against. "I think you're jumping to conclusions here," I say in my defense. "Did I not catch you flirting with Charmaine yesterday? Because I'm not blind. You two were looking a little too cozy." "You don't know what you're saying." I shake my head. "She was the one who came on to me." The doubt on his face is unmistakable. "You have the nerve to deny it? Why are you doing this? I thought you were supposed to be married." "I am. This is why I wanted to hire a married couple to play a married couple, to avoid instances like this. I will not tolerate this kind of behavior on my set." "You have to believe me," I say, gesturing towards me then at Charmaine. "I wasn't flirting with her. At this very moment, I want to wring her neck for putting me in this situation. I will never doubt Tracey ever again." "Let's see about that." The director calls Charmaine over. She walks over with an all too innocent look on her face. "Anything the matter here?" "Charmaine, will you enlighten me for a second?" the director says. "Were you the one flirting with David yesterday?" The witch is a pretty good actress. The shocked expression she puts on is almost believable, if not overacted. "What? Is that what he said?" "That's what he claims, yes." The director sends me a dubious glance like I'm some criminal convicted of a nasty crime. "He's the one who came on to me," she says, playing the victim well. She even touches her chest as if she can't believe this is actually happening. "He wanted us to spend some time together." "That's a lie," I growl. "You were the one who said anything can happen during shoots. Long days and even longer nights. All I agreed to was dinner, a double date. I cannot have another scandal on my hands." The director raises his hands and drops them. "I must say that I'm very disappointed in you, David." "Okay. I have to admit that last part hurt. I can't stand having someone disappointed in me about anything." Then I remember Tracey's words. "Charmaine is doing this because she wants to get me fired from the show," I accuse. She gasps. "How dare you say such a thing?" "But it's true. You've been sour ever since Tracey and I beat you out for this role. She warned me about you." "Tracey is a casting director, correct?" The director's doubt changes to suspicion. "Yes." I nod. She says she's seen the likes of Charmaine many times from the casting couch, hungry and willing to do anything to get a role. "Are you actually ganging up on me?" Charmaine's anger is now real. No acting necessary. "See, now I don't know who's telling the truth." The director rubs his forehead. "It's become he said, she said." "Surely, I'm the one you have to believe here," Charmaine says in desperation. I have nothing more to say on the matter. I set my teeth. "What you need to know is that I won't jeopardize this opportunity. Not for me. And certainly not for Tracey." A muscle ticks along the director's jaw. I can see the wheels turning in his head. He's making a decision. If he fires me, Charmaine gets what she wants. If he listens to me, then there's no telling what lengths Charmaine will go to get what she wants. It's a rock and a hard place situation. At that moment, the makeup artist approaches. At first, I think she's come to take me into hair and makeup. Instead, she speaks. "I was passing by them yesterday," she says. "I saw Charmaine's hand on his arm." "Is that true?" the director asks. "I was just friendly," Charmaine says, fear in her eyes. "Didn't look friendly to me," one of the cameramen says. Charmaine takes a step back. "This is a conspiracy against me. I won't do anything like that." As I stand here, watching my salvation play out, an arm wraps around mine. The familiar scent of Tracey's perfume sends a painful awareness through me. She keeps her gaze on Charmaine while holding me like her property. "Believe me when I say," she begins, "that I would never allow David to flirt with another woman, especially not in front of me. Charmaine was the one coming on to him. She's just defending him because they both need this role." Charmaine bares her teeth like a cornered wild animal. "David is a talented actor," Tracey continues, this time addressing our director. "He doesn't need to screw around to get a role. Quite frankly, I don't see any reason for this witch hunt against my husband." I like the way she says the word husband. She's marked her territory and warned everyone in the area to back off. I have been claimed, and it's damn sexy as hell. "Charmaine," the director says, a threat in his voice. "You and I will talk later. For the rest of you, it's back to work."
Chapter 10. Tracey. After a long, hard day on set, the last thing I want is to be called into the director's office. Despite David's efforts to support me, I messed up my monologue, and we had to restart so many times that I could feel the crew giving me nasty, tired looks. It's embarrassing to show my inexperience this way, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why the director wants to talk to me. Initially, David wanted to come along. It took everything in my power to persuade him not to. I told him that I needed to handle this on my own. Thank goodness, he listened. He said that he'll wait for me outside of the set. My heart fluttered for joy at his trust in me. I reached the director's office, still in my costume and heavy makeup. Most of the time, my makeup routine consists of tinted moisturizer and lip balm. I've never worn so much on my face at one time. The director is busy typing away on his computer when I stand at his open door. I knock on the panel and wait. He doesn't look up. I clear my throat and say, "You wanted to see me?" Only then does he take his eyes off the screen to regard me with an assessing stare. "Have a seat." And just like that, I'm back in high school, being called into the vice principal's office for something I'd done. Usually, I deserved attention. I was a little hellion back then. "I'm really sorry for messing up earlier," I launch, thinking if I head this reprimand off with an apology, then I can minimize any potential damage. I didn't stand up for David earlier, just to have my inadequacy as an actor get us both fired in the end. "What are you saying?" The director tilts his head. I hike my thumb over my shoulder. "On the set earlier, I just couldn't get all my lines right. I promise I'll do better next time." "Your lines?" "Yes, I don't want you firing David, just because I'm still learning the ropes. I'll make sure that it doesn't happen again." The director waves my explanation away. "That's not what I brought you in here for. Actors mess up all the time." "It's not? Instant relief relaxes all the tense muscles on my body. I'd almost sag in my seat. Actually, this has something to do with David." And just like that, I'm at attention again. I've learned throughout my years as a casting director never to admit to anything outright. Wait and listen. "I see," is all I say. The ball is in his court. If he wants anything out of me, he has to spill why I'm here first. The director clasps his hands together and rests them on top of today's script. "I want you to tell me about the state of your marriage with David." "What about it?" I ask on the defensive. "Just answer me. How is your marriage to David?" "Our relationship is better than ever." I lean back in my seat, exuding a casual air. "We love each other very much." The director's eyebrows rise. "All right, then." "Wait," I say. "Is that it?" Clearly, from the way you defended him earlier, that you do love him. My cheeks grow several degrees hotter inside the unusually cold room. I can't stand for what Charmaine did. It was uncalled for. "Is it also possible that you see things through rose-colored glasses?" he asks. David does have a reputation with the ladies. I've asked around. It can only look that way because David is a kind and generous man. He doesn't rebuke anyone who asks for his attention. I assure you that he remains loyal to me and to our marriage. I honestly don't understand where this is all coming from. Besides what Charmaine did, David and I haven't messed up once. We leave the set together every day. So, you're saying everything I've heard is just rumors? We work in the entertainment business. I'd like to believe that we both know that rumors are the lifeblood of Hollywood. Actors pretend to be in relationships all the time to get ahead. Okay, I don't know where that admission came from, but it's good that it's out there. Divert the lie by actually telling the truth. Surely the director won't doubt us now. He untangles his fingers and leans back in his chair. If you say so, then it must be true. If that's all, can I go? I really want to get all this makeup off. I stand and move towards the door. Tracey, the director calls, and I pause. I look over my shoulder at him and wait. He smiles, tapping the script with his finger. Make sure you learn those lines, okay? An uncomfortable laugh escapes me. I'll do that. I walk out of his office and pretend to be calm and collected, but with each step I take, I move faster and faster in the direction of my dressing room. I barge in and lock the door behind me. Leaning against the wood for support, I attempt to breathe away my rising anxiety. I thought when I had defended David that we put this whole Charmaine business to bed. I might not be as good an actress if the director still wanted to know about the state of our marriage. Maybe he was just making sure. After all, so much is riding on this project. A scandal right off the gate won't do anyone any good. With wobbling knees, I managed to make my way to the vanity mirror. The lights blind me for a second. I pick up the makeup wipes and begin cleaning away the mask they put me in. With each layer of foundation that fell away, revealing the real Tracey underneath, I begin to wish that everything I'd said in that office was true. I stepped into this thinking I was helping David with his career. Now, with each day that we spend on set together as a married couple, I want more and more for the fantasy to be real. This is it, baby. This is what you can get me that'll make me happy.
You know I'll get you whatever you want. All you need to do is ask me and I'll give it to you.
This ain't just it. This is everything I could ever want.
Now I'm curious. What does a strong, sassy woman like yourself want so badly?
Baby, you know what I want?
Can't wait to hear.
The Big Baddie bundle from Tyler Walker. It has everything I need.
20 ebooks with over 1 million words of sassy romance and spice that'll keep you on your toes.
10 audiobooks containing over 60 hours of that seductive voice telling me naughty things all night long.
You don't need an audiobook for that, baby. Right here.
You may be fine and all, but no one tells it like the way Miss Tyler does. And I need her in my life.
The Big Baddie bundle is everything you need. You can get it for 80% off.
Go to TylerWalker.com to browse the bundles that earn you the best deals.
It's time you treat yourself. Because you deserve it.
Escape your life with Miss Tyler.
Chapter 11. David. Tonight, I bring over dinner to Tracey's place. I told her that it was the least I could do for what she did with Charmaine this morning. Also, I figured that she'd been too tired to cook anything for Hunter and her. The little guy runs at me as soon as I walk into the door. He latches himself to my leg, and I drag him along with me as I place the plastic bags of food on the counter. Tracey is busy setting up the table. Is Chinese okay? I ask. Egg rolls, Hunter declares, still clamped on like a barnacle on my leg. I don't mind, he's so damn cute. If you don't have fortune cookies with you, I'll have to kick you out, Tracey says, placing plates on placemats. She loves fortune cookies not for the fortunes in them, but for the sweet cookie shells they come with. For her birthday one year, I bought her an entire bag of fortune cookies. We ate them like popcorn while watching a movie on her TV. "Sweetheart, go wash up," she says to Hunter. He doesn't move from my leg. I give him my serious face. "Listen to your mother. Only if you tuck me in and read me a story later," he demands. Wow, the little guy knows how to bargain. I can't help the smirk that tugs at my lips. "Only if you make sure that you wash your hands properly." He squeals with joy the way only little kids can do and runs off to the bathroom. A chuckle comes out of me as I watch him go. Tracey comes over, and we busy ourselves unpacking the many boxes of food I brought with me. "I think I bought too much," I say. She opens one box and inhales deeply. "Orange chicken. You know what I love." In the back of my mind, I'm conflicted. First, I can't believe I'm jealous of orange chicken. Second, my inner caveman is pleased that I brought her the right food from my hunting trip. "I got some great news while I was waiting for takeout," I say. I couldn't wait to get to Tracey's place as soon as I got the call. "Oh yeah?" She smiles. "Charmaine's been banished from the set. Apparently, she's pulled this kind of nonsense before." "I knew it!" Tracey races her hands and runs at me. On instinct, I take her into my arms and swing her around in celebration. She laughs as we twirl. I love the way she feels against me. "Are you going to kiss?" Hunter asks. I put Tracey down, but don't let go of her right away. We look into each other's eyes. I see in hers something that I'd been hoping for. "We should eat," she says. "Gotta feed the hungry little monster." She steps out of my grasp and begins to tickle Hunter. Surrounded by the boys' laughter, I'm left feeling empty. Traces of Tracey's warmth and scent linger with me. She's not getting away that easily. After dinner, I fulfill my promise to Hunter. I tuck him in snug as a bug in a rug, and he hands me a book for us to read. Tonight's selection is a classic, Goodnight Moon. I settle down beside him, and he inches into the crook of my arm. The trust and affection give me pause. It feels right. When he's comfortable, I begin reading. The actor in me comes out, and I add voices and inflections, making sure the experience is enjoyable for him. Once I reach the end of the book, he's sound asleep. Gingerly, I inch out of bed, lifting his head as I go. Then I lay him down on his pillow and bend, giving his forehead a kiss. He smells of baby powder. I give the sleeping boy one last look over my shoulder before shutting the light and exiting his room. I leave the door open a crack in case he needs us. My chest tightens. I like the idea of us. I walk back into the living room to find Tracey already on the couch. My gaze moves to the sink and all the dishes have been washed. A movie is already playing on the large flat screen, which I helped her set up after buying it last year on Black Friday. She hands me a glass of wine. "I hope you don't mind a romantic comedy. I need something good to shut off my mind." I take the glass and settle in beside her. I swung my arm over her shoulders and gathered her close. She snuggles into me like we've done since we became friends. "Still worried about messing up?" I push my nose into her hair and inhale the coconut smell of her shampoo. "Don't remind me." I'm struck by how right this feels and see many more years of quiet nights like this to come. Tracey gazes up at me, her hand on my chest. I recognize the need in her eyes. It's the same one I saw earlier. Taking it as an invitation, I bend down slowly. Tracey doesn't move away. In fact, she leans in further, bridging the smallest gap between us. Her lips are on mine in less than a second. I don't know how I manage it, but I slide the wine glass I'm holding onto the coffee table without spilling a drop. Hands free, I wrap an arm around her waist while the other cradles her cheek. She moves in closer and sighs. The parting of her lips allows me to push my tongue inside to meet hers. Her moan of pleasure calls to the primal side of me, pushing me to keep making her feel good. We've kissed so many times on set, but none of them was as hot as this. Each time her tongue touches mine, the more I discover how much I love kissing her. She tastes of the wine she'd been enjoying before I arrived, a sweet tartness that immediately goes to my head. Then she sucks on my tongue, and it's all over. I'm in this more than I ever thought I would be.
Chapter 12. Tracey. Oh, I hate to put a stop to a good time, but it looks like we've hit this platform's limit for spiciness.
This platform's got some rules we have to play by if we want to keep giving you these stories for free.
And trust me, this scene isn't something you want to miss.
While we can't get into all the details here, you can still dive into the full, uncut version at TylerWalker.com.
Miss Tyler has an entire collection of unabridged audiobooks and ebooks waiting for you.
And the best part? You can treat yourself with 40% off when you use the code SAVE40.
That's right. You'll save on any digital product, even bundles that are already discounted.
Miss Tyler would never let anyone feel the kind of disappointment you must be feeling right now.
So why wait? Treat yourself with Miss Tyler.
Chapter 13. David. Sunlight hits me in the eyes. I yawn and stretch. I haven't slept that well in. I don't know how long. Damn, I feel good. I rub the sleep off my face and realize I'm not in my room. Everything that happened last night started coming back to me. Tracey and I went from kissing on the couch to having sex in the bedroom. Believe me, had I known how banging Tracey would be in bed, I'd have crossed from friend zone into whatever we are now ages ago. The thing is, does she feel the same way? Or did I just make the biggest mistake of my life by taking things to the next level between us? After all that screwing, there's no turning back. My gut twists as I realize I have so much to lose at this moment. Like a complete coward, I'm scared to turn and look at the woman sleeping beside me. What if she regrets what happened? So serious, so early in the morning, she says in that sexy, raspy voice of someone who just woke up. I mustn't have done my job well enough if you're not smiling like I am right this second. There's teasing in her voice, but I also hear that she's unsure. She's testing the waters. She's braver than I am. I turn on my side and face her, all tasseled curls and plump lips. God, you're beautiful in the morning. Had I known I'd be waking up to all this, I'd have jumped in your bed the second I met you. She laughs. Had I known how good you were at all this, I'd have thrown myself at you. A growl leaves me as I pull her in for a kiss. It gets hot and heavy fast, but before I move us into a better position, she's left the bed, taking the sheet with her. We have to go. We're due in the studio in a couple of hours, and we still need to bring Hunter to daycare, she says over her shoulder. Damn you, woman, I say. I can't believe you're cruel enough to leave me hanging. The grin she sends me is absolute evil. I'm never one to waste an excellent morning wood. I just thought we can resume things in the shower. I'm out of the bed faster than a sprinter gunning for the gold in the Olympics. Shower sex is even more amazing than I would have ever expected. We are all smiles while preparing breakfast. Tracey cooks the eggs while I brew the coffee and toast the bread. Hunter is busy eating his cereal. The air of domesticity isn't lost on me. This is nothing I could have ever imagined. It's better. We're out the door and in my car in 45 minutes, making it to Hunter's daycare just as the children are being welcomed by their caretakers. I have my arm around Tracey's waist as we wave Hunter goodbye. The little guy doesn't even turn back, running straight into the playroom where their first activity is about to start. Once we're on set, we go through the script. There isn't a speck of awkwardness between us, like when we first started. The dialogue comes out of me without any effort. Tracey is even willing to ad-lib some parts with me, taking the scene into a level that I don't ever expect she can go to. It's fun riffing with her. She challenges my acting chops in a way I've never had with another actor before. The entire crew feels it too. I don't know if I can stand you leaving me for that long, Tracey says as her character. The welling of tears in her eyes tug at my heart. I take her into my arms. I'll never survive being away from you. We pull apart far enough to look into each other's eyes. A single tear falls down the side of Tracey's face. I cup her cheek and dry it with my thumb. And cut! The director yells, brilliant! I give Tracey a kiss on the forehead, and the crew begins to clap. We look around and I can see some of them reach up and dry their own tears. Tracey smiles tenderly, clutching her chest. The elation on her face is the same one I'm feeling. The director hurries toward us. He clasps our arms and squeezes. I can feel his hands shake. His smile is all teeth when he says, "My God, that was so good. Your rapport is even better than before." "Thank you," Tracey and I say at the same time. We look at each other and laugh. "Jinx," she says, "you owe me a Coke." "I'll buy you the entire grocery store," I say, pulling her close and kissing her on the cheek. She practically melts into my touch, and I'm the guy who feels pride at the fact that I can do that to her. "Tracey, that one tear coming down," the director adds as he observes us closely. "I couldn't have asked for better performance." "I'm glad you liked it," she replies. "I didn't know if I should hold it in or not at first. It's good. I went with my instincts. Keep doing what you are doing." Then the director turns to me. "And you. All the women will wish they had you as their husband." I beam. "I couldn't have done it without Tracey." She smiles modestly. "We did this together. You two are more a married couple now than when we first started." He claps us on the shoulders. "Go have some lunch while we set up the next scene. You've earned the break." I'm inclined to believe him. Tracey and I have become connected in a way that we never were as best friends. We can feel each other, sense what the other is thinking, especially during a scene. I've never felt this way on set before. "Do you want a sandwich?" she asks, pulling me back to the present. I just saw craft services bringing out fresh ones. I take her hand in mine and kiss the top of it. I hope they have that turkey and Swiss on rye that I like. She sticks her tongue out. "Rye, yuck." I laugh as I pull her along with me. "Come on, woman, I'm starving."
Chapter 14. Tracey. Since the night we had sex, we've been taping many long days, sometimes 12 to 14 hours. Thank goodness for the great daycare at the studio, or I won't know what to do with Hunter when we are running late. David spends most of his time at my house, much to Hunter's delight. He has someone other than me to tuck him in and read him stories. He only goes back to his place to pick up fresh clothes. I actually don't mind that he's spending so much time with us. It's actually like we're a family, married and happy. While he is with Hunter in his room after dinner, I busy myself with the dishes. It's been our routine, and I like it. The only thing I don't like is the lack of sex. Here I thought we'd be having more of it, not less. I pick up a plate and place it under the running tap. I dip the sponge into the liquid soap mixed with water, then rub circles around the dish until all the grease and food stains come off. Something is calming about washing dishes. I love the feel of the warm water on my hands. Then once the plate is clean, I pop it into the dish rack beside the sink to dry. "You really have to let me buy you a dishwasher," David says. My heart raced at the sound of his voice. To my surprise, I almost drop a plate. "Hunter down for the count?" I ask. Out like a light. David yawns. I know how he feels. "Can you take out the trash?" He doesn't wait for me to ask twice. I step out of the way for a second so he can pull out the bin from under the sink. With quick fingers, he ties the bag, then carries it out through the front door. I watch as he leaves. It's been Hunter and me for so long that I've forgotten how nice it is to have a man in the house. A sigh escapes me. Now, if only I can drum up the courage to ask him to perform other husbandly duties. I'm so horny I bite my lower lip. David returns with the mail. "You might have just won a cruise," he says, reading the front of one of the envelopes. "Oh, junk mail." I wipe the counter clean. When I turn around, David is already on the couch, remote in hand. "What do you feel like watching tonight?" he asks, gazing at the screen. "You pick." "Okay." I mean, it's fun having David around, but if I don't do something about the pulse between my legs that I know only he can ease, I'll go crazy. I've never asked a guy for sex before. How to ask without sounding too needy. An idea pops into my head. A shower sounds nice, I say, remembering the hot morning after sex in the tub. You go ahead, is his reply. I want to catch the highlights of the game. Shot down, I head toward my bathroom. Before, it used to be just my toothbrush and Hunter's little one. Now, 3 toothbrushes occupy the holder. I open the medicine cabinet, and inside are bottles of David's cologne, aftershave, and all his hair products. I take out the aftershave and give it a good sniff. Images of the night we spent together to make my knees grow weak. Then another idea wakes me up from my daydream. If I can't find the words to ask David, then maybe I can show him what I need. Most nights, all we have the energy for is sleep. I love having David in my bed. I get comfort from the fact that all I need to do is reach out, and he's there beside me. All he's seen of me so far are t-shirts and pajama bottoms. He hasn't seen my special drawer yet, the kind filled with tiny silky things. Wifey loves herself some lingerie. I get into the shower and take the time to scrub myself down with my best body wash. Coconut seems to drive David wild. I even choose this moment to wash my hair and shave. I don't stop until my skin is glowing and smelling sweet. Once I've dried myself off and put on my robe, I place the product into my hair that enhances the springy black coils. Then I tiptoe into my bedroom. David's too busy watching the game highlights to notice. When I'm done, he won't know what hit him. I tap on some tinted balm to make my lips look extra delicious. Then I pinch my cheeks to get some color into them. Smiling, I go to my dresser and pull out the top drawer. In front of me are neat rows of panties, bras, and negligées. Thinking I don't want anything else getting in the way of my plans, I pick a purple nightdress with lace that hits my upper thigh. This thing isn't hiding anything. It's made to enhance. I pull it over my head and settle it into place. My heart races, bringing more color to my cheeks. Okay, everything looks good, I think to myself as I look into the oval full-length mirror in my room. You can do this, I say to my reflection. You are a damn sexy woman, and he's lucky to have you. Now, march in there and show him what you want. Pep talk complete, but still a little nervous, I make my way back to the living room. I peek into Hunter's room on the way. My boy is certainly out like a light. Perfect. I take a deep breath and say as I walk into the living room, David? I pause, hands on my hips. Then I cluck my tongue. I must have taken too long. There, on the couch, is David, fast asleep. His head is lolled back over the edge, mouth open. I would have laughed, but I'm too tired. Sighing, I grab a throw from the matching armchair and drape it over his shoulders. I don't have the heart to wake him. Maybe next time.
Chapter 15. David. I've become accustomed to the nightly routine of tucking Hunter into bed. First, he'd hop in, and I'd make sure he's snug under the covers like he likes. Then he'd hand me a book. I'd stretch out beside him, and he'd snuggle close. Tonight's selection is another timely classic, The Cat in the Hat. I enjoy the rhyme scheme of this book. It gives my voice a melodic quality, perfect for lulling little boys to sleep. Should we tell her about it? I read in low, hushed tones. Now, what should we do? Well, what would you do if your mother asked you? I glance down at the snoozing boy and smile. I close the book and slide it into the bedside table. Then comes the part I don't like. As gentle as I can, I lift him up and deposit him onto his pillow. I can stay here forever if only his small bed would allow. I've grown more attached to the little man than I could have ever imagined. As I tiptoe to the door, Tracey is there, waiting for me. My heart slams into my chest at the sight of her. She's usually in the kitchen during this time, washing the dishes. She smiles, looking from me then to her boy, whom I'm beginning to want to be our boy. "I hope it's okay that you're doing this," she whispers. "I feel guilty that Hunter's asked you to tuck him in and read him a story when you're here." What she doesn't have to say as she shuts off the light is that I'm here every night. The bed at my place has not been slept in since we had sex. I don't mind this arrangement at all. 1, because we're too busy at work. 2, I don't see a point in going back to my place every night. Too tiring and a waste of time. "You don't have to feel guilty," I say. "I look forward to bedtime stories." I join her out in the hallway, pulling the door until only a crack remains. "I think he likes your voice," she says. I grin. It's the actor in me, especially when we're reading the Dr. Seuss books. She places her hand on my chest, and I feel the electricity from the touch zoom all throughout my body. I'm frozen in place. Every part of me is attuned to her. "Thank you." She looks up at me, heat in her eyes. "You know," I say, placing my hand on top of hers, "since I'm here all the time anyway, maybe I should just move in." "I think you should," Hunter calls out from inside his bedroom. Tracey looks over my shoulder at the door to her son's room. "I thought you were asleep." "I am," he says in that innocent boy tone of his that's not so innocent. I suck my lips into my mouth to stifle the laughter that's begging to be let out, my shoulders shaking. I can already see that Hunter's going to be a handful when he grows up. It's a fantasy of mine that I'll be there to help Tracey out when he does. Little monsters get tickle attacks. Tracey leaves me and rushes into Hunter's room. I look at her. When she reaches Hunter, she bends down and treats him to the tickle attack she threatened him with. I lean against the door frame, crossing my arms, content to watch them. Hunter giggles as Tracey switches from tickles to kisses. I might have half-jokingly asked to move in, but another part of me is serious. I pack my things and start living here the second I get confirmation. But Tracey avoided the answer entirely. I can chalk it up to her, wanting to make sure that Hunter gets the rest he needs. Here I thought my vocal powers were enough to knock him out. He must not have been that tired yet, the little spy. Tracey sits on Hunter's bed and hums a lullaby to him. It immediately settles him down. She runs her fingers gently over his face, closing his eyes as she goes. My heart squeezes. There is no doubt in my mind that Tracey is a wonderful mother. I just wish I could understand her feelings better. There are moments when she looks at me, and I'm falling head over heels. I want to ask her how she feels. If she feels the same way, I want more than ever to be a part of this family unit. I want to be here every night, tucking Hunter in. I want to climb into bed with Tracey and wake up to her beautiful smile every morning. I want it all. But how to ask without spooking her? I don't want it to seem like I'm moving too fast, or that I'm an imposition. It's been the two of them for so long. I might fit in right now because we're working together and it's more convenient. How can I permanently lock myself in without overstepping my bounds? It takes a minute more of humming for Tracey to be sure that Hunter is finally asleep. His breathing is even and steady. I should check for that next time. I step into the hallway, giving Tracey room to shut off the light and leave the door ajar once more. Everything in me wants to pull her in and kiss her until she says yes to me living with them. But then again, my move might backfire on me. We're in such a great place that I don't want to rock the boat. Tomorrow's a big day, she says. We're shooting an important scene. I've had that in the back of my mind all throughout dinner. I see the concern and nervousness on Tracey's face. I put all thoughts of asking her again if I can move in aside and shift into work mode. Do you want to run some lines before bed? You read my mind. Her smile is shy. I'll open a bottle of wine for us. That'll be good. I step back and sigh. I'll take out the trash, then when I get back, we can start breaking down the script.
Chapter 16. Tracey. The series wrap party was held right after our director announced, "It's a wrap." on the final scene. The party planner prepared a separate room beside the set where all the food and tables are laid out. They went all out with the decorations, place settings at each table, floral centerpieces, servers for the food. There's even an open bar and dance floor. As soon as I showered and removed all traces of heavy makeup from my face, I went straight for the drinks. I order a dirty martini with extra olives. Then my gaze immediately scans the room for David. As expected, he's already mingling with the rest of our cast and crew. He cradles a scotch in his hand with the other tucked into the pocket of his jeans. His hair is slicked back from a recent shower, and the blazer he wears serves to enhance the broadness of his shoulders. He's easily one of the tallest men in the room. Painfully handsome, too. It bears repeating, especially since I might not get to see much of him now that shooting the series is over. I sulk over my martini when our director approaches. From the glow on his face with drinks in his hand, he has visited the bar several times. And from the looks of the party, no one's finished drinking either. This can go on all night. "Did I tell you already how wonderful a job you did, Tracey?" he says, taking a sip of his. I'm not sure since the drink is clear, but it's in a whiskey glass. Gin, maybe? "Thank you," I reply, taking a drink of my own. As much as I want to get drunk to forget that my bed will probably be empty tonight. I remember Hunter. It won't do him any good to see his mom sloshed. I find there's always this great sense of relief after each project is completed, he continues, a philosophical expression on his face. Don't you feel the same way? I guess. I'm just trying to be agreeable. But what I don't say is that I've gotten so used to being with David 24/7 that I'm annoyed to even think it's over. Of course, there will still be the occasional hangout. We are best friends after all? Or are we still? I really don't know. There hasn't been a repeat of that amazing sex-filled night. What's our status now? Friends with benefits? The idea makes me queasy. I think I need to eat something. I reach out and snag a cracker with cheese and prosciutto from a tray carefully balanced on a waiter's hand. Popping it into my mouth, I chew but don't taste a thing. Is that it then? I ask, my mind going pensive as well. In a party full of people, why do I feel so lonely and alone? From the looks of your performance and David's, there's surely going to be a season 2. The director raises his glass to me, and I clink mine with it. Here's to a potential hit on our hands. Prepare for your life to change. The only change I want in my life is David, not leaving me. I want him to pick up Hunter with me like we always do. Then I want him to drive us home. Hunter will surely want David to tuck him in and read him a bedtime story. My poor boy, he's going to miss David terribly. Our director shakes his glass, and the ice hits the sides. His drink is running low. This prompts him to wander off in search of the bar. I am left alone once again, and my eyes wander, finding David speaking with our makeup artist. She looks up at him like any woman who looks up at him, with stars in her eyes. It's easy to see why women flock to David. He's kind. He's generous with his time. Did I already mention how good-looking he is? Because that certainly bears repeating again. And when he looks at you, it's like you're the only girl in the world. That's certainly how I feel. No one has ever made me seem more beautiful than I actually am more than David. When he touches me, it's like my skin comes alive. When he kisses me, I see fireworks in the sky. And when he says my name while he's inside me, I lose myself entirely. Holy crap. I bend over slightly, my hand on my hip. My breathing is coming in fast and shallow. The realization hits me like a meteor. I'm in love with David King, best friend, godfather to my son, the most amazing lay I've ever had. I liked him before. I even loved him, but not this much. "Tracey, are you all right?" David asks. "Of course." He's suddenly by my side. That's the kind of guy he is. A superhero. I finish my martini in one gulp. The alcohol goes to my head and I wobble on my feet. David takes my hand and guides me to the nearest table. He pulls out a chair, and I sink into it like a rock falling to the bottom of the ocean. I can't feel my legs anymore. My heart is pounding so fast. David is sitting so close to me that each inhalation goes directly to my core. I am so screwed. How the hell will I survive not seeing him all the time? I need a minute to focus. Resettle me. I think I need another drink, I say. Are you sure? David asks, concern clear on his face. The lips I want to kiss are in a straight line. I'm fine, I lie. It's just sinking in that the shooting is over. That's all. He reluctantly gets up and goes to get me that drink. That's my man, David. Never has to be told twice when I want something done. Sweet baby Jesus, I'm in so much trouble. How could I have allowed myself to fall in love with him? I should have said yes when he asked to move in.
Chapter 17. David. Cheers! Good one. Congratulations, David. All of them congratulate us after we finished the series. As of now, we are having a party to celebrate. Everyone is merry because we successfully made it. I'm happy because I am proud of myself and of Tracey also. Speaking of Tracey, where the hell is she? I look around and my eyes find her. She is with our director. She is beautiful even if she is not wearing any makeup. Damn, she's a goddess. Tracey looks so lovely in her blue lace dress. Her curly hair is on the left side, making her pretty face more attractive. She's the prettiest. Our director left her. I want to congratulate her for our success. As I walk, someone's calling my name. Hey, David, you really deserved it, Dahlia says, our makeup artist. She is naturally good-looking and sexy that every man dreams of. Hi, Dahlia. Thank you so much. I give her my warmest smile. I look for Tracey, and she is completely alone. I'm on my way when I bump into our director. Why it is so hard to reach her. This is better than ever, David. He pats me on the shoulder. As a professional, I need to talk to him, even though I am so excited to go to Tracey. Thanks to you. We can't make it if you didn't help us. I smile. You two are amazing. I assure you there will be a season 2, he says firmly. Really? Thank you. My eyes glow when I hear about season 2. But when will it happen? He gives his hand to me and we shake hands. Good luck to both of you, the director says. I grin, and he walks to meet the other. Again, I scan the whole place to find her. She's still there, standing alone, staring on nothing. I wonder what is going on in her mind. I walk and go where Tracey stays. Tracey, are you all right? I ask her. Of course, she says. She drinks her martini in just one gulp, and in a snap she staggers. What is wrong with her? I take her hand and assist her to the nearest table. I pull a chair for her and she sits like mad. What is her problem, I want to know. I sit beside her. We are so close that I can hear her heavy breathing and smell the mixture of her perfume and the smell of martini in her mouth. I want to ask if she's okay, but it's pretty obvious that she's having a hard time. I don't know what it is. I want to ask her, but I hesitate to ask. Staring at her melts my heart. I want to be with her. I want to touch her. Oh God, I'm in love with her. She doesn't give the word. She's just looking at her empty martini glass. Is she mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Why is she cold to me? She pushes the glass towards me. I think I need another drink, she says to me. Are you sure? I ask her with concern. Actually, I don't want to give her a drink. I only want to be by her side. I'm fine, it's just sinking in that the shooting is over. That's all, Tracey says blankly. No, I know Tracey's not fine. But how can I say no to this wonderful woman? I reluctantly stand and get her another drink. I'm thinking about what I did wrong to her. She's not like that. 1 glass martini, please. Thank you. While waiting for the wine, everything is flooding into my mind. Yes, I know she's quiet, but she is bubbly too. So why on earth is she acting this way? I go back to her, holding her martini. I sit beside her and give her drinks. She smiles as a way of saying thank you. I smile back, but she didn't see it. We are both speechless. So I have tons of questions, but I know this is not the right time to ask her. Tracey is not in the mood. I take a glance around and everybody is celebrating. We are the only people here in the party who are not making noise. I will miss this, I say and smile at her to break the silence. But in the back of my mind, she's the one that I will truly miss. Me too, she says in a small voice and returns a smile. Even though we are not talking a lot, I enjoy her company. Before the party ends, Tracey goes home. I insist that I will bring her back to Hunter, but she says I need to stay here. She gives me a sweet smile and a warm kiss on the cheek. The party ends and I go back to my apartment. I check my phone if there's a message or what, but there's none. All I notice is that it's 9 o'clock in the evening. It's Hunter's sleeping time. He wants me to read him a bedtime story. Oh, I am used to it. I'm tired, but I can't sleep. I clean myself, I change my clothes. I do anything just to entertain myself. I turn on the flat screen to watch Netflix. I get my favorite beer and snacks, but... Damn, I can't sleep, I can't focus! I shout because I can't hide my feelings anymore. Damn, this girl... I mess up my hair. She's always on my mind, I miss her so much. I want to hug her badly, I want her. I want her beside me. I am so in love with her. I sigh. When will we see each other? I miss her so badly. I want to go to her place right now. Oh, David, you are pathetic, whipped, and so in love. I'm hoping she feels the same way. You won't know what hit you, baby. I'm going to take you, break you, and make you mine. And when I'm done, you're...
Now hold on just a minute.
What?
I got something to say.
What's the meaning of this?
Now you may be some fine-looking white boy,
Got that right, baby. It takes hard work.
and you might got the money,
Fat stacks, baby, to spoil you with.
but that doesn't mean I'm going to give it up to you without a fight.
A fight?
You want some limp wilting flowers? Go to historical romance, baby. But you want sassy and spicy strong black queens that tame their alpha male bad boys?
I think our listeners do.
Then you go on and look at Miss Tyla's Bougie Brides and Billionaires audio bundle.
50 hours of me whispering the most romantic things in your ears. Fake marriages, alpha male billionaires, strong black women, steamy scenes that will make your eyes roll back. And everything wrapped up in a happily ever after that will put you in an afterglow.
Use code SAVE40 to get 40% off this bundle and any other digital product in Miss Tyla's store.
Unabridged and uncut.
Just like you,
You're gonna have to find out.
Tyla Walker Romances. Escape your life with sassy romance. Chapter 18. Tracey. I release a long sigh as I stretch my arms upwards. It's my first day back at the agency, and while it's great to be back, I can't help but feel like there's something amiss. Someone's not here, and I miss seeing him every day. I pore over the manuscript before me, but I can't focus. Someone knocks on my office's door and I look up. My boss stands there, smiling. "First day blues?" he ventures. My taut smile confirms his query. He sits down, crosses his legs, and grins at me. Ethan's been very supportive of my little side project, and I'm so thankful for that. "You miss the shooting hullabaloo, don't you?" he muses. "Yeah," I laugh. I miss my co-star more than anything, but I don't tell my boss that. He stands up and tells me to leave the manuscript for a while. We head to lunch, which doubles as my welcome back party with the rest of the agency's team. We can't wait to watch it, my colleagues say as we eat. Your co-star is your hunky friend, right? Stacy, my supervisor asks. I nod. Yes. I went to the audition together with David. So, what's the role you play? I grimace. We play a married couple in the show. They erupt with excitement. So you got to kiss him? Oh, yes, and more. I smile. Oh my God. They holler. Stacy fans herself and hisses, as though she ate a chili by accident. Ethan's grin reaches his ears. She's got that right. I take a sip of water as my mind wanders back to those tasty little duels David and I had on the set. The rest of the lunch goes on with them teasing and continually trying to squeeze out more information about the show. And David. Mentioning his name feels like uttering a sacred word. I try to mention it as infrequently as possible to keep my feelings under control. The rest of my day flashes by without much incident. Hunter gives me a puzzled look when he spots me waiting for him at the daycare. Seeing me alone again after all those times with David is certainly a strange concept to my son. I give my son a hug before taking his backpack. Mommy, where's David? He asks as we walk. I squeeze his little hand. David's a little busy, I guess. We haven't spoken since the post-production party. The last time I saw David was at the party, where I left him. He did offer to accompany me back home, but I refused. In fact, he hasn't even shot me a text or called me since. The lack of communication between us makes me feel uneasy, but I can't bring myself to initiate the conversation right now. I let Hunter lead me into his favorite ice cream shop, and I don't object when he asks for a triple scoop cone. Normally, I'd only let him get the single scoop cone, but I pay for the triple scoop without a word. We head over to the supermarket to replenish some supplies and some things for dinner. My little man volunteers to push the cart. I smile and thank him. He's outgrowing that little seat in the cart now, and it makes me feel even more sullen. I walk ahead of him, grab items, and put them in the cart. When he asks to get some candy, I oblige. My eyes linger on the selection by the counter as we wait for our turn to pay. We didn't use one. I didn't have one ready, and David didn't have one on him. Besides, we didn't know we'd be having sex that night. My center throbs as I recall that night, the way he felt inside me, how ecstatic I was with his hot release inside me. Should I get a pregnancy test kit? That'll be $200, the cashier says flatly. I blink. Right. I scramble for my wallet and hastily pull out some bills. When we get home, I ask Hunter to help me put away the groceries. My helpful little man obliges. After that, I start preparing for dinner. I want it. I want to kiss him again, and I want to know him in a more biblical sense. Damn, I hiss the moment I register that some of the boiling tomato sauce just splashed onto my hand. Mommy, you said a bad word. Hunter gasps from the living room where he's doing his homework. Sorry, honey, I say as I run some tap water on the burn. The burn itself isn't that painful, but I start crying anyway. I wipe away the tears, but they won't stop rolling down my cheeks. Why didn't he touch me again after that? Did he decide that he doesn't want me after all? Why aren't we talking all of a sudden? I feel a tug on my shirt. Hunter is staring at me with my wide eyes. I try to stifle my tears and kneel down. Mommy, you're crying, he says. I give him a shaky smile. I'm okay, baby. He scowls at me. No, you're not, Mommy. I swallow. You miss David too, he says. Oh, Hunter. I sob and gather him in my arms. Mommy, if you miss him so much, then why don't you two just get married? He says. My lips quiver as I smile. My baby loves him so much. Later, I sit on the couch in the dark after I put Hunter to sleep. If only things are as simple as Hunter put it. But I don't know how David would react if I ask him to marry me. The idea of me proposing marriage is unorthodox. I'm well aware that it was all an act, but was it really all just an act? All those moments? That sex? Is that why we never did it again? I pull up my knees against my chest and take deep breaths. No, that can't be all it was. I press my lips together and feel a fresh wave of tears roll down my face.
Chapter 19. David. That afternoon, I asked Tracey about bringing Hunter to the park. I told her that I've been missing the little guy and wanted to hang out man to man. What she doesn't know is that I spent my morning going in and out of jewelry stores. After picking up Hunter from Tracey's, we sit on the swings. I think Hunter feels my nervousness because he's been quite like I am. The box in my pocket weighs a ton. Well, not really, but the emotions attached to that box sure does. As if reading my thoughts, Hunter says, "Are you ever going to ask my mom to marry you?" I choke on my own spit. A coughing fit follows. Hunter gets off the swing and slaps me on the back. He's a small boy, so the smacks don't really make a difference, but the thought does. In a quick move, I pull him into my arms and hug him tight. With all the trust in the world, he wraps his small arms around my neck and gives me a squeeze. And just like that, I feel a whole lot better. Not less nervous, mind you. Just a lot better. We nudge apart and I reach into my jacket pocket for the box. I show it to Hunter. He takes it and opens it. "Be careful," I say. "That's a really expensive ring." He looks confused. I don't think he knows that a ring is usually customary when proposing. I smile and take the box from him before anything happens to the 3-carat oval-cut diamond inside. "I was thinking of proposing to your mom today," I finally get up the courage to say. Hunter's eyes grow wide. "Really?" I place my hand on his shoulder to keep him from bouncing on his feet too much. But I'm nervous. Why? I thought adults are supposed to be confident. "You don't know the half of it, bud." A corner of my lips lift. "Sometimes, even if we look confident, we get all nervous inside." "But you love her?" His frown puffs up his already puffy cheeks. "That I do. Very much." The words sing so real in my mind that I can feel my heart about to explode. Not being with Tracey all the time since the series wrapped messed with my head. My apartment felt empty. Cold. I longed for the nights we spent together as a family. I miss reading Hunter, his bedtime stories. I miss winding down the night with Tracey on the couch. But I'm still not sure about how she feels. What if I overstep my bounds? What if I'm reading more into our lovemaking and our kisses than what she means? Our friendship is already strained with awkwardness. I don't want to add to that burden with a proposal I'm not 100% sure Tracey will respond favorably to. "Then stop being a chicken and propose already," says Hunter, a determined set to his expression. The boy is an immovable force. Without saying another word, he leaves the park. I get up off the swings and run after him, my heart pounding out of my chest. He's walking so fast for such a little guy that I have to hurry to keep up. "But where are we going?" My question is useless since his house is walking distance from the park. He walks straight to the front door and twists the knob with both his hands. I follow in after him as he yells at the top of his lungs, "Mom! David has something to ask you, and you better say yes!" Tracey hurries out of the bedroom looking frazzled. "What's going on? Are you hurt?" She kneels in front of Hunter and gives him a once-over that only mothers know how to do. When she's satisfied that Hunter is in one piece, she gazes up at me. "What's he saying?" "You have something to ask me." My fingers grow tight around the ring box. Tracey gets on her feet and comes closer to where I'm standing by the door. Hunter points at his mother and mouths, "Do it." I have never been so scared to let a little boy down in my life. My hands begin to shake. Confusion enters Tracey's beautiful face. God, I miss that face. I miss all of her. "David, is something the matter? You're looking a little pale." I swallow, my throat working hard on forming the words. Tracey places the back of her hand on my forehead, and I almost laugh. "You don't have a temperature, but I think you should lie down just in case." That's the breaking of the ice I need to take her hand in mine. The softness of her palm and the warmth of her touch settles me. I bring her knuckles to my lips and kiss it. She gasps. "Tracey, you and I have been friends for so long," I begin. "We have been there for each other through thick and thin, for better or for worse." Okay, I sound like I'm speaking our vows. I might as well be because I mean every word. "What are you saying, David?" Her voice shakes. I feel her hand shaking too. "These past few months working with you on set has been the best of my life," I continue. "You literally saved my career by pretending to be my wife." I'm happy that I did it, but I can hear the doubt in her voice. Hunter motions for me to hurry it along. What I didn't tell you was each day that we spent together with the more I wished that you would be my wife in real life. David. Tears well in her eyes. Without letting go of her hand, I go down on one knee. Then I open the ring box and show it to her. Tracey covers her mouth with both her hands. "Tracey Jackson, will you do me the honor of being my wife for real?" I ask. "Will you marry me?" She nods as the tears fall. "Say it, Mommy," Hunter encourages. "Yes," she declares. I'm on my feet, pulling her into my arms and kissing her. Only when Hunter gives us both a hug do I break the kiss. Good thing, too, because it gives me a chance to slip the ring onto Tracey's finger, then gives the two people I love most in the world the tightest hug possible.
Chapter 20. Tracey. I am alone here in the veranda, watching the waves gently crash in the sand. The sun is setting down, and the breeze is getting cold. The view from this beach is so peaceful and full of life. It was 2 months ago when David asked me to marry him, and this is it. We are getting married now. This is my dream since I was a little girl to marry at the beach, and of course, to the man I loved. I am waiting for Hunter to fetch me here on the veranda. I am wearing a chiffon lightweight white long halter dress that flows down freely, and I am wearing nothing in my feet. My hair is in a fishtail braid on my right side with a white flower tuck in it. "Mommy, let's go. They're all waiting for you," Hunter says excitedly. He has the most beautiful smile I've ever seen. I didn't see David this morning, and up to now, we both agreed yesterday that we will just see each other at the wedding ceremony. "Okay, baby," I answer him quickly. I hold his hand, and we go where the wedding ceremony will be held. And this is it. Here I am standing in front of them. I can see only the most important people in our lives. Yes, this is an intimate wedding. They are all genuinely smiling at me. The coordinator brings Hunter to his chair, while me, I will be walking now in the aisle that every woman dreams. The violinist starts to play his violin, and the song begins to touch my heart. I love the song just how I love this day. Oh, I want to cry. Wise men say only fools rush in. But I can't help falling in love with you. As I walk, I feel the fine sand playing on my feet. I smell the salty air embracing my warm body. I hear the romantic song that I will cherish forever. And I see the man I loved standing in front of the wedding arch waiting for me to arrive. David's smiling, and I can sense that he's a little bit nervous. He is so handsome in his white linen shirt and white trousers. Just like me, he's wearing nothing in his feet. This place is paradise, and everyone feels elated. I emotionally close my eyes. I walk slowly and feel the song. I stop walking. Here I am so close to him. I give him a beatific smile, and I look again in my favorite part of his face, his beautiful blue eyes. Just like the ocean, it's calm and it's relaxing. As he takes my hands, we both pray and ask God to give his blessing for our marriage, for our relationship as husband and bride. The ceremony starts. Tracey Jackson, whatever will happen in our lives together, every day will be the greatest day of my life. I am so in love with you, my best friend, my wife, and my life. David says seriously. I can see in his eyes that every word he says is sincere, and it touches my heart. David King, it's unbelievable that I get the chance to promise myself to the person I consider my greatest friend and loving ally in all things. Marrying you is truly a desire fulfilled. I love you, and I will cherish you for a lifetime. While I am saying this, my heart melts because David is staring at me like no one is here. My heart is beating faster. After exchanging vows, we put the rings on each other's hands. And you may now kiss the bride, the pastor says in a firm voice. We kiss passionately for about maybe 5 seconds. My cheeks are blushing, and I don't know why. I know I'm used to it, because we kissed every day on the shoot, all right? It's because this kiss is real, and it is the symbol that we are one now. He embraces me, and everyone is clapping their hands and making some noise. We celebrate our wedding on the seashore. We eat, toast, dance, sing, and have fun under the bright full moon. It is almost past midnight when the celebration ends. Hunter is tired and sleeps early. Since we are now at the beach, we will have our honeymoon here. After taking a bath, I go to our room to check if David is sleeping. I'm wearing red lacy lingerie. I'm combing my hair and smelling the strawberry scent of my shampoo. I don't know, but I am not nervous or what, just like the other girls when they had their first honeymoon. What I'm feeling right now is joy and full of blessings. Oh, he's lying in our bed, patiently waiting for me. I sit beside him. He looks at me like a baby needs his mom. What's taking you so long, darling? He tenderly massages my back. By the way, he's topless. All he's wearing right now is his boxer shorts, and it looks sexy on him. My love is ready to fight tonight. On the bed, he kisses me passionately. He bites my lower lip, then he moves his tongue inside my mouth. We tangle together in an intimate kiss. He smells my ear, and his lips trail to my neck, kissing it. His every move makes me feel drunk, intoxicated. I'm turned on and I want it too. But I remember something. I have a surprise for David, and I want to say it now. I want to see his reaction. Love, wait. Is there something wrong? He holds my face and gives me an enticing look. I feel his warm breath. I said yesterday that I have a surprise for you. And what is it? Hearing his sexy voice makes me high. All right, just close your eyes, and I'll give it to you. Close it. Close your eyes. He closes his eyes, and I take both of his hands and put a little box on it. He opens his eyes and takes a glimpse at me, then looks in the box. Open it now, I say hurriedly. Baby, what is this? He asks innocently. Just open it. I am smiling widely when he opens the box. There's an inconspicuous white stick inside. He looks at me with teary eyes. Am I going to be a father? Yes. Yes, you are. I am 2 months pregnant. Yes, I am going to be a father. He shouts. He hugs me and puts his hand in my lower abdomen. He touches it and feels our baby. Baby, thank you. I'm so glad and speechless. This is a blessing, he says emotionally. I smile at him and kiss his hair. I will love you for the rest of my life and our little family, I say in a lower voice. I kiss him slowly and invite him to bed. I love you more than you'll ever know, David says as he joins me to the bed. This is the official start of our forever.